You ever eat something that you've been eating your whole life and suddenly it tastes off? It looks the same, it smells the same, but something about it just ain't hitting the way it used to. And now I'm seeing more and more people online saying the same exact thing. Now, people in this video is going to show you some real clips of people noticing changes in the food across America. And the crazy part is none of them know each other, but they all saying something similar. So what's actually going on here?
What are they putting in our food in America? Today we are comparing chicken breasts. This is from my local butcher. This is what I usually get my chicken from. And then we also have chicken from Walmart as well as Purdue chicken. Now before we open these packs, I wanted you guys to see that they were legitimate chicken breasts from the stores that we said they're from, and they're still in the packaging. Now, visually, you can see there's a huge difference between what we're getting at our local butcher from a farm compared to what they're giving us at Walmart. Now, there is a caveat at the bottom. It says there could be up to 5% water retained, but we're gonna weigh out the biggest ones and compare the size difference between the different chicken breasts. So we have our scale set up here. Note that we're at 0 grams. Now we're gonna take the biggest breast from our local butcher shop and put that on there, and it measures in at 187 grams. Now we're gonna have to trim some of this extra stuff off of this breast because I want it to be as accurate as possible. So we've cut the Walmart one to take out that excess that was on the sides. What's it at?
392 grams.
What?
And the other one was
187?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is from our local butcher shop. This is the Walmart chicken breast. This is the Purdue breast, which is supposed to be a little bit better quality than the Walmart one. Let's go ahead and weigh this one out.
347.
Oh my gosh. So I don't know if there's any math wizards out there, but if you compare the percentage difference between the smallest breast we have to the largest, it's 109.6% bigger at Walmart than it is from our butcher. Now the Purdue breast is a little bit smaller and it's 85.56% bigger than the breast from our butcher, but 5% was supposed to be water. What is the major difference in our chicken? I'm not an expert in this, but this is alarming. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, or if you have any other theories as to why the breast at Walmart is double the size of the breast I get at my local butcher.
America is in a crisis because why are the ingredients of everything trash? I eat like majority non-processed food. Whenever I do need something that is processed and I go to the store for it, it makes me realize that we are literally in a food epidemic. Everything has seed oils and flavors and colors. We need to do better.
You compare a lemon and orange from Italy or anywhere in Europe, even Dominican Republic, the produce is superior to America. How is that possible? The greatest country in the world. And our vegetables and fruits taste like cardboard. We don't even allow a fresh tomato. This tomato right here, this tomato was not picked red. We don't even give the food the justice and the respect to mature and ripen on the vine naturally and develop its natural fruit and vegetable sugars. We pick the stuff green. Yeah, tomatoes are picked green. And they're pumped with sulfur gas at I-95 in a trailer truck to turn them red fast.
There's something seriously wrong with our food, our health, and the people who are supposed to be protecting us. And no, this didn't just happen. This isn't about genetics. This isn't about coincidences. And it sure as hell isn't just about personal responsibility. For decades, the American people have been told, trust the experts, trust the regulators. Nothing's changed. Meanwhile, chronic illnesses have exploded, autoimmune diseases have exploded, and food intolerances have exploded. Now, either everyone suddenly broke at the same time, or the system did. I want you to watch this clip with RFK Jr. addressing specifically, this is just one issue, about Roundup and glyphosate.
They discovered that Roundup was a desiccant. So that, and what that means, if you spray it on a crop, it will actually dry out the crop. And one of the big enemies of the farmer is that if there's rain around the time of harvest, their crops can get wet and then they get moldy and then it ruins the entire silo.
Yeah.
And so what Monsanto did is they began telling farmers, spray this on the crop, on your wheat, right before harvest or at the time of harvest. And it was so popular that about 85% of the Roundup that has been used in history has been used since 2006.
Wow.
And a large part of that is as a desiccant. And what that meant, Mark, is for the first time they're spraying it on food.
Yeah.
Right at harvest.
Yeah.
And for the first
Not
time.
early in the season when it may
Right.
have a chance to wash off, but actually just before you're going to eat it.
Right. And they're spraying it for the first time on wheat because there was no such thing as Roundup Ready wheat.
Yeah.
They started spraying it on wheat as a desiccant. And so 2006 marks the date when suddenly these gluten allergies began exploding. The
Interesting.
celiac disease and all these kind of wheat problems that we started seeing in this country. If you measure back and say, when did it start? You can look and draw a red line, and it's 2006, and it's the year that they began spraying it on.
Right there is not a conspiracy. That is agricultural policy. Glyphosate sprayed on crops right before harvest wasn't about health or safety. It's about speed and profit. And no, this wasn't always done. Celiac disease and gluten intolerance didn't randomly skyrocket out of thin air. It started only after chemical agriculture ramped up in 2006, not before it. But here's where a lot of people miss the point. Glyphosate is just one small part of a much bigger broken system. Our food is now chemically treated, stripped of natural nutrients, rebuilt with synthetic additives, and cooked in industrial seed oils that didn't exist in human history. So our food is not the food that was eaten by humans for thousands of years. It's now an industrial product. And let's talk about something that should enrage everyone here. Not every country allows this crap. Like the UK, large parts of Europe, several countries in Asia, they either restrict or outright ban these chemicals, additives, and processes that are completely legal here in America. Why is that? Well, because they apply the precautionary principle. If it might harm people, prove it's safe first. Well, here in America, they apply the profit principle. If it makes money, deal with the consequences later. And this is not just a problem with the FDA. This is our entire government apparatus. This is the same revolving door where corporations fund regulators, regulators approve corporate products, and then politicians tell you to trust the science. It's not oversight, it's corporate takeover. When you spend decades chemically altering food, ultra-processing it, stripping it of fiber and nutrients, you don't get a healthy population. You get chronic inflammation, metabolic diseases, immune dysfunction, and a lifelong dependency on the medical system. And then they wonder why everyone's sick. This isn't about one chemical. This isn't about one product, and it's not even about one industry. This is about a whole broken system that decided that profit was more important than human lives and expected us not even to just not notice, but that we would never say or do anything about it because we haven't.
After spending the last 3 weeks in Spain and Italy, I am fully convinced that the United States is poisoning everything we're eating. Here's why. For weeks straight in Spain, I constantly did things I never do in the States. I drank wine every day. I ate pastries with chocolate every day. I ate every unhealthy food you can imagine. I experienced zero hangovers, zero upset stomachs, zero anything bad. I have now been back in the States for 48 hours. Not only has every meal made me feel like shit, but I have immediately gotten actually sick. Sore throat, fever, like my body is just rejecting all of the bullshit we have here. And it has me thinking, if you're watching this video and you've never traveled abroad, you might not actually know how much better you could feel away from this shit. Has anyone else experienced this?
I've got to talk about something. Since my family got back from Mexico, every single one of us have had some kind of like health issue. Stomach problems or just trouble going to the bathroom. My whole body hurts. I feel inflammation in all of my joints. Everything just is sore and hurts. And it has got to be American food. I have no other explanation. And when we were in Mexico, I know a lot of people go to Mexico and they talk about like having like bathroom issues, right? We didn't have that. We improved when we went to Mexico. Every single one of us. It got better when we went to Mexico and we started eating Mexican. And we ate out a lot. In fact, the majority of our meals, we ate out. We ate street food. We ate in restaurants. We cooked at home a little bit, but not a ton. We just ate so much better and we felt so much better in Mexico. And now that we're back in the States, every single one of us is having issues.
American food is shit, dude. I'm out on it. I'm taking Mexican food, sushi. Now you can still have steak and like Japanese, like you can still eat red meat and steak in other like forms, but just the American version of it, I'm out, dude. I'm on the Mexican, the hibachi, the, Greek food, everything.
It's American food is disgusting.
You know what we did as Americans? We just took every other form of food and put bread on it. We put bread and carbs into everything.
Yeah,
That's
ruined it, dude. And processed the shit out of it.
That's it. Process it 10 times over.
An American cheeseburger you can literally leave in a box for 15 years and it won't even mold.
Dude,
yeah, good job, America. We're so good. We're so good.
We are barely into the year 2026, and I've already made a list of things that pissed me off so far this year. A lot of these things being issues with our food. So number one, in the state of California, at least, I don't know about elsewhere, they have mandated that folic acid must be included as an ingredient on all tortillas on your shelves. Never mind that there's a lot of people with the mutation where they can't metabolize it. Put it in there anyway. So now I think I have to make tortillas by hand. That's fun. Most coffee in the United States has mold in it. Mold. And if you're buying ground coffee, there's a good chance it has ground up cockroaches in it. Yummy. And if you use a Keurig, you're just giving yourself a bunch of microplastics. Lovely. Vital eggs are fed corn and soy and are not truly pasture raised. And the only reason their yolks are so yellow is because they give them marigold supplements and paprika to make them darker. Lovely. Kerrygold butter. They're not truly grass-fed cows. They are also fed corn and soy. They're being deceptive, and their packaging has PFAS. I love Kerrygold butter. So nothing is safe. A lot of the chicken in the United States is washed in bleach. Washed in bleach. Yummy. So you have to look for chicken that is air-cooled, but it's going to be double the price. Okay. Honey is fake in the United States. Yeah. A lot of the major brands are actually cut with like corn syrup, or they've been so highly refined, even if they're raw and unfiltered, that's a lie. And pure or 100%, lie. There's corn syrup and or cheap honey from China that has illegal antibiotics in it. And sometimes they highly filter and process the honey so much, even when it's raw and unfiltered, that it has high amounts of these toxins in it from the processing. So buy local honey, because now apparently all the honey on your shelves isn't even real. Lovely. Now we're gonna go on to, let's see, some stuff happening in the air. It's not even a conspiracy. Okay, open your eyes. You can see it in the sky. They're geoengineering or chemtrails spraying our skies to influence the weather. And I'm pretty sure from what I've read, it's stuff like really tiny particles of aluminum. Toxic. It's fine. Glyphosate are sprayed on corn, soy, wheat, cotton, etc., and are very toxic to us, and they can cause infertility. And also, so that means your flour, like literally everything has been exposed to glyphosates. Lovely. Like headphones or earbuds, like the Bluetooth ones are exposing your brain to a lot of radiation too. So that's just the first little list I've started. I'll be back with more, I'm sure.
You want to see something crazy that we ingest in our bodies? You got to see this. You know that glyphosate that you put on crops, that you see the big sprayers out there in the field spraying, you see the airplanes diving in and spraying our foods. So we use glyphosate a lot to kill weeds. We do a lot of mowing for our properties and for fence rows and things. So I set some in my shop, the sprayer in my shop, and it was full of glyphosate, and somehow I guess the hose leaked a little bit. Look at what it did to the floor. Look at that. It ate through the concrete. So we put that stuff in our bodies. The animals, the deer that eat the crops, going in their bodies, like, golly. That's some potent, strong stuff right there.
Cooking salmon for dinner tonight. And I actually have some store-bought salmon in our outside freezer. I thought it would be fun to show you guys the difference from wild caught salmon that we caught ourselves versus store-bought. So let's do it. This is our outside freezer. Come on, boys. I'm actually going to open it up so you can really see and compare the two. I just grabbed our salmon that we caught out of the freezer. Okay, so this is crazy. This is Alaska wild caught salmon we caught ourselves. It's fresh. It is packaged by us. This is our salmon caught in July of last year, this past summer. This is store-bought salmon. This is Kroger brand, farm-raised, responsibly sourced, with added color salmon. That's crazy.
Okay, I have a quick story about American food quality and the effects of American food and eating it. So our daughter has been going to a French immersion school for the last 7 years. And so we've gotten to know a lot of the teachers who are usually French teachers coming over here in most cases on a contract. And so we've talked to them about this, and I've heard multiple times from teachers something along the following lines. You know, it's really weird. I came here and I've been eating the exact same diet, exact same food, everything the same. I walk, exercise the same amount and everything. I put on 10 to 15 pounds during the school year. I go back to France in the summer, weight comes off. So this isn't talking about the poison and the health issues and everything, but obviously there's something in our food. They're eating the exact same food, different quality, and it's causing them to just balloon up and bloat and all these other things and gain weight. So my question is, what the hell are they putting in our food that's doing that? Anecdotally, for us as a family, when we have gone over to Europe for like say 3 or 4 weeks and we eat, we drop weight, and we also feel healthier. I mean, just anecdotally, we feel good. And we're on vacation, we're splurging, right? We're having baguettes every day, or pain au chocolat, or, whatever it is, like eating pasta in Italy and, saying yes to dessert, because we're on vacation, right? So we're not really eating better in that sense, like relative to what we would have here. If we did that in America, I don't even want to think what would happen. And we feel good. And, people say, oh, it's the walking. No, we walk a lot here too. 10,000 to 20,000 steps a day. So it's not it. So there's just something very wrong with our food supply in America. So for us, a big reason for going overseas is trusting the food. We don't trust the food in America anymore. Absolutely not at all. In fact, it's beyond don't trust. It's absolutely sure that the food is poisoning us and is making us sick. That's where we've gotten. And you'll see lots about that here on TikTok. And I've lived it anecdotally, had that experience, and am convinced of it, and have just lost all trust. And it's just very simple. They ban all of the stuff that we allow in our food here. There's something like 3,000 ingredients or something that they don't allow. Like, for example, in the EU, they don't allow these ingredients, and we happily in America put them in our food. So there you go.
It's easy to brush this off and say it's nothing, but when people from all over are noticing the same thing, people are getting cancer, you got to at least stop and think about it. So when you think about it, is this just people's heads, or is this something actually different with the food? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more real conversations like this, tell me in the comments that you want more. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next video.